It can be a bit scary to ask people for an honest opinion, but I know that if I want to design and build the best possible vertical garden, I have to let other people test my ideas so they can give me valuable feedback. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hydro Garden channel, the home of vertical food gardening. For quite a while now, I have been talking to my friends at work about the vertical gardens I'm designing and building. One of those friends, Tanya, told me that I should talk to people like herself who are interested in growing healthy produce at home. I told her that I would build a vertical garden for her if she would agree to give me some honest feedback after she grew some vegetables following the hydro garden method. She immediately agreed to the deal, so I built a mini vertical garden as a test model just for her. The mini vertical garden only had 2 levels and it was narrower than the other vertical gardens I have built in the past. I thought that a smaller vertical garden would be easier to transport in case I had to bring it back home if Tanya didn't like it. When I arrived to Tanya's home, I realized that the size of the mini vertical garden was perfect for her home. If the vertical garden would have been larger, it would have been quite difficult to get it through the back door. The space available for the vertical garden was limited as well, so in the end, the decision to build a mini vertical garden was a good one. I wanted to see if putting the structure together was going to be difficult, but Tanya needed very little help to place the trays on the mini garden. It is important to get the irrigation mats wet before placing the pots on the vertical garden. That way, you just need to top up the irrigation mats when the plants take up the water they need. I don't think it is necessary to have too much water in the trays. Actually, too much water could attract mosquitoes, so having enough water or just enough water to keep the mats wet is all you need. The location selected for the vertical garden had a number of advantages. First, the vertical garden was placed in an area that faces the sun most of the day, so there will be plenty of solar energy to grow good vegetables. Also, the mini garden was placed right next to a tap, so keeping the irrigation mats wet is going to be quite easy. Another good thing is that the garden is protected by the roof, so when it rains, the trays are not going to get too much water. During cold weather, heat will irradiate from the bricks, so that will help the plants grow. Of course, that will be a disadvantage in summer, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Having a barbecue next to the mini garden proved to be very useful as well. Tanya was able to use the barbecue as a planting bench, so she did not have to work on the ground. In the end, I think both of us were satisfied with the mini vertical garden. The size of the mini garden was perfect for the space available, the area selected had a number of advantages, and planting the seedlings took very little effort. I am still unsure if it is necessary to irrigate the plants from the top, since the fabric pots allow water to move up from the bottom. But as the seedlings have short roots at the moment, it is probably wise to irrigate plants from the top until they grow a bit more. When you use fabric pots as the one I use with the HydroGarden method, you can easily see how water moves down from the top to bottom, and also from the bottom up. Once the plants grow a little bit more, they should be able to take up the water they need from the irrigation mats. That will make irrigation very easy, as Tanya will only need to water the mats when they are dry. If they are still wet, no need to add any more water. As I was after some independent feedback, I asked Tanya the reason why she wanted to have a vegetable garden. Of course, I also wanted to know what she thought of the mini garden I have built for her. So it was time for me to listen.
I have a 6-year-old, so I want him to have healthy food, and there's nothing better than having fresh vegetables and herbs. They taste great and they're nutritious. I've tried a couple of times to get the vegetable patch going out the back here, but each time it just gets overgrown with weeds. It's really hard to keep the weeds down, and I just run out of time to get out there and maintain it. So yeah, I'm looking for something a bit simpler, easier to maintain. He is a little bit fussy with his eating vegetables, like most kids are, but when he grows it and picks it himself, he really enjoys playing around in the garden and seeing them grow, and he will actually eat the tomatoes. I think the advantages of the high grow system are the ease with which you can grow the plants. Like, it's right beside the tap, so it's easy to keep it irrigated, keep it topped up with water, and there's no weeding. So it should be really quick and easy to manage, which is important for me with young child. We run out of time all the time. I think the only thing I'll need to look out for is just keeping an eye on making sure there's enough water. Yeah, which should be pretty easy because it's right at the back door, but that's probably the only challenge that I could see. I can't wait to see how they grow, and I'm gonna post some pictures so that you can keep an eye on the progress.
Well, so far so good. I will wait to see if Tanya changes her mind later, but I'm confident she will have a good experience with the mini garden. I will be posting some pictures from Tanya's garden on the HydroGarden Facebook page, so you can see how this is progressing. Hopefully the results will be good.